Serious Reddit, what is your age and what problem are you currently facing in your life? 55. My son died 2 months ago of misdiagnosed illness. His younger brother found his body and is severely traumatized. I have to be strong for the family, but can't seem to function. My bills were paid late for first time in 2 decades. I misplaced paperwork for son's estate. Keep reading novels to lose myself and my pain for a few hours. Took in my son's senior dog, and taking care of him is tough. But I have to because he was guarding my son's body. I owe that dog. I'm also afraid this elderly dog will die, and I will wake up to his dead body next to my bed. 21 and I don't know what I want to do with my life. I have no goals, no ambition, no direction. I didn't think I'd make it this far, so I didn't plan for it, and now I'm figuratively frozen from all the options. 14. Facing difficulty of deciding how much of my leg I want amputated fibula hemimelia. I'm 27. My father was abducted in Burkina Faso a few weeks ago, and I feel helpless. We haven't heard anything, except that they think it was Al-Qaeda. I don't know how to be strong for my family anymore, because the stress is eating me up inside, to such a point where my health and my work is now affected. In 16 meters. I have no real friends. Nobody invited me over in the last 2 years. If I want to hang out or something, I have to ask them. They say no most of the time. Last month, I invited 2 guys, which I would classify as friends, to my birthday. I bought tickets for Gamescom, bought them food, and bought us train tickets to get there. They forgot it was my birthday, and they didn't even congratulate me. After I told them, one said, okay, and the other one said, I don't care. Every weekend, I see my friends on Snapchat when they go out and party or go to see a movie, but they never ask me. Don't get me wrong. I try to have friends. I ask them if they want to do something or see a movie. I buy them presents or drinks in school, and I do most of the work on group projects for them. I just want them to like me. Thanks to everyone for the kind replies. I come from 9gag, and it was such a toxic cloud over there. It's nice to see that there are still nice people on the internet. Thanks to everyone. I hope it gets better. When I go to uni in 1.5 years, I plan to study law. I don't really have any hobbies except gaming, and I try to game less to get better grades in school. Everybody in my school thinks that my parents are very rich, so they ask me to buy stuff for them. Sometimes I do it because I would rather see them happy than spending my money on mobile games or other unnecessary things I don't need. I have no problem with that. It's just that I get ignored after. I spent over $300 on some guy in the last year, and he didn't even show up to my birthday. I'm not even the second choice for them. I'm more like the 6th or so. Fortunately, I can talk with my mom about my problems. Thank you all for the replies. There were quite a few who have or had the same problem as I have. So it's nice, but quite sad to see that I'm not alone. Sorry for my bad English. I'm 21. I'm in my last year of college studying accounting. I'm struggling with my classes due to my lack of studying. I have no more motivation and deeply regret choosing my major. I'm 30 meters. I have not had a relationship ever, and that's my problem. 59. Brain tumor. I think it was from that Ted Nugent / Lynyrd Skynyrd concert back in '77. I'm 35. Right now, my biggest problem is constantly fending off this question. So, when are you having kids? Truth is, I'd love to have kids, but I'm physically unable to. But I don't feel like disclosing that information to every nosy in-law who wants to stick there or into my life. 17. This cursed life in the crap hole country that is Iraq. In a backward society where I could simply be killed for any perceived insult, for simply no reason, for religious or social reasons, or just for the enjoyment of some twisted guy. A society which I refuse to continue living and build a family in. Also, as this is my last year of high school, I daily battle a flawed school system in which I need to study 6 hours a day, at least, in the hopes of actually getting a job in the future. Due to the virtually non-existent employment in Iraq. Yeah, I hate my life. 33. My husband cheated on me in January. Found out when he got chlamydia and all my previous tests were negative. I still love him though. It's messed up. He's not traveling currently, and the children love having home. Some days I want to work it out. Other days I want to leave and ruin him. 16 and I'm scared of graduating school and act like an adult. I want to stay in school forever and not have to go into the real world. I've got it so easy, and the thought of having to do everything by myself freaks me out. I'm 28. I moved to Germany in August. Really struggling to learn German. It's slow and excruciating. A lot of other problems go along with that. Don't know hardly anyone here. Cultural differences. Finding it very hard to make friends. And to top everything off, I haven't been in a relationship since I was 16. Normally I'm okay with that. But it's a little crushing with the loneliness added in. I'm a 19 male, and I'm just not happy with my life. I don't feel like belonging anywhere. I just want some good friends that I can talk to and do stuff. But everywhere I go I feel like an outsider. I try my best to participate in as many outside activities as possible, but nothing seems to work out. Also I feel a heavy burden on my shoulders because I have never had a relationship or sex. 35 meters. Ate chicken curry last night. Driving to Florida in a little bit. Currently sitting on the toilet for the 3rd time this morning. I have been awake less than an hour. I'm 50 and I'm going through some majorly debilitating depression over the loss of a parent. The kind of depression that you catch yourself thinking I have no more purpose. 23 and feeling like I'm getting more unattractive by the day. I think it's mostly in my head, but I can't help it. 45. Unrelenting and untreatable chronic pain for a decade is now going nuclear, and I'm starting to struggle emotionally. 16 and severe acne all over my face. It's come to the point that I can't even look at myself in the mirror without ruining my day. I'm using like 5 different serums and face medicine. Nothing has helped so far. 17. Overweight. Gay in a community where they throw gays off cliffs. And I don't know what I want to do after I'm done with high school. 24. My GF since high school wants kids. And I don't think I do. 32 and no direction. 19. I'm studying for 2 degrees. Everyone is breathing down on my neck because I'm expected to succeed and I don't want to do anything anymore. The kicker is that I didn't even choose my future and my degrees. They did. And since I'm not paying for anything, I don't deserve to have an opinion about my own freaking life. I have 2 bags ready in case I snap and finally run away. I'm 29. Have a good paying job. And I'll still never be able to afford a house. For people telling me to move somewhere cheaper, I'm a corporate lawyer, and so is my SO. Not a lot of big law firms outside of SF/LA/NIC/DC. 33. My brother and his fiancée are pregnant. I think that she is the wrong person for him. Not my job to make his decisions, but I'm afraid that he is getting into something he can't get out easily. My other brother and his GF are rushing things. Planning to get married next May and try to get pregnant now that the child will be expected shortly after the wedding. Again. Also not my job to make their decisions. But my wife and me have a bad gut feeling. I'm 15. I have serious back pain and all my joints are cracking very loud. It's supposed to be a problem you get when you are older. And the healthcare in Romania is a joke. 31. Realizing how messed up I am when it comes to forming and keeping good friendships. My parents and spouse are all military, so subconsciously everyone I meet is temporary. It's really hard to have more than just superficial friendships. I'm working on it. 29. Unemployment. 28. Quit a well-paid job to start again from slightly above entry level in a career I actually want to do. Trying to make sense of earning less, but actually enjoying work. I'm 24 years old, and I'm mainly dealing with a disability that's preventing me from moving forward in life. 18 meters. Adjusting to American social norms and slang due to recently moving from Ecuador. 34. My ex is an alcoholic with a gambling problem. I have 2 kids with him that are young. I work a stable and awesome job, but it's not enough to offset the debts and living in my own. But I'm making it work. It's not easy. 44 here. And while I still look younger than my age and am in good shape, I've developed age spots. The cute freckles I used to have had melded into a few weird splotches. And I'm currently on a routine of vitamin C serum and retinol cream. I'm seeing results. But I could have avoided this had I been more religious about sunscreen in the past. That said, I'm glad it's the first thing that came to mind when I chose to answer this question. Because it means I don't have any horrible, standout problems in my world. Sunscreen. Kids, the song wasn't a lie. 14. Crippling depression and anxiety, and I'm too much of a pussy to tell anyone about it. I'm openly gay, but have to live because my dad is homophobic to the point where he said to me, if you ever say you're gay I'll take you to a nice priest and we'll fix that. My parents are divorced and my mother knows I'm gay. I'm also passively suicidal. I'm 26. Recently graduated as a doctor. I need to go look for a better job, but I have no idea even where to begin. I feel like I don't know anything and that I'm not as good as my peers. I'm terrified of actually working as a doctor on my own for the first time. Late 30s. Wife has chronic neuromuscular condition. Treatments she's been using for the last 20 years are no longer effective, and she's in chronic debilitating pain. No other available treatment except for brain surgery that has at best a 50/50 shot of helping. If it doesn't, can make everything much worse. She can't get out of bed some days. Those days are getting closer and closer together. Her cat almost died a few weeks ago. Spent a week at the vet. Ended up with approximately $3,000 in vet bills. Don't have any savings due to medical issues. Was able to scrounge up about half, and vet allowing us to pay the rest in installments. Also didn't insist on payment up front. Don't know where that money will come from. Now he's incontinent and peeing in the bed and he's diabetic. Got to wake up to that this morning. Nothing like cleaning up cat pee first thing and changing the sheets. I'm self-employed in a profession I hate as my job is to literally take on other people's problems. I have to hide my depression and anxiety from her and everyone else since I'm supposed to be their rock. Don't know how much longer I can take it and glad I don't own a firearm right now. Still probably wouldn't do it because of what it would do to her, and I can't have that on my conscience. Don't have any way out since she can't work and I can barely keep up with the bills and stress of the job. Don't have any other sources of money we can use and no one else who can help. I've borrowed so much money from friends and family to try and cover medical bills, but that's tapped out and I have no one else to go to. Credit is crap because of medical bills and related issues. Can barely force myself out of bed every day. Keep going for her. Time to get in the shower and do it all over again. 17. Weird. Not interesting. Feel like my opinion doesn't matter or not interesting, so I keep it to myself most of the time. 35 years old, and I can't get my confidence up enough to apply for a job that I'm qualified for, even though it would pay better and help my financial debt situation. I sell cheese, but I'm a qualified cow and document control associate. I also have a psych degree. Anyone need some gouda? 24 meters. There is no direction to my life. Every week the same things. Work 40 hours a week 9 to 5. Go home, smoke weed, game. And the weekends is always hanging out with the same people who only want to do is chill. Get wasted or high. There is no excitement anymore. I'm trying to connect with other people, but that is fun for a month or so. Then the same thing happens as what I do with my other friends. Or there is no more connection. Life is getting boring, and the days are slowly going by. 45. And my mother just passed away suddenly at 68. Now I have to handle cleaning out her apartment, the cremation, stopping all of the bills she had, getting her lease car handled, and all the while keeping up a good face for my 4 kids who just lost their grandma. 24. Trying to find a decent job in my area so I can move out of my parents' house. Bleh. 23. And I'm in a lot of debt right now and have to take another loan out to pay the bills this month. 17. Depression and anxiety. 17. Can't see my family in Mexico because they're in the middle of an ongoing drug war. My maternal grandmother, who I had lived with up until 9 years old, is in her last moments and my parents have only allowed me to see her once every few years. I will probably not have the chance to see her again. I went back to Mexico this summer, and I felt like a dead man walking. I hope some of you know what I mean. I was a vague memory to a lot of people, some my own blood. My parents think I'm afraid of bullets. I'm not. I'm afraid of dying alone here in the Netherlands with no purpose. I have no responsibilities here. I live in my own shadow. Everything I had in the past just decays, while I sit here on the sidelines observing and contemplating about what could've been. All I've done these past few years is entertaining myself in a locked room. Waiting. I could hardly tell you on what. Needless to say, I have no friends. I live here with my father, my mother, and my 2 little brothers, all in an afterthought, while I listen to the tales of the events of what once was. I'm 60. My joints and tendons, previously quite tough, has turned into a bunch of little delicate laced oilies that I have to be careful with. Doctors tell me that this sort of thing is inevitable with age. I hate it that they're right. 16-year-old in England currently doing A levels in college and being asked, what do you want to do in the future and what are you doing when you finish college in 2 years time, and I genuinely have 0% of an idea what I want to do with my life. I'm 38 years old and I'm consistently kept awake at night worrying about my 17-year-old son and how he's going to navigate adulthood. I worry that I haven't prepared him enough for the harsh realities of the world outside my home. I worry that he won't be happy, safe, or secure in his life. I'm a parent. I worry. 19, trying to get into a relationship cause I don't want to die alone. To be honest, I don't even know if I even want a relationship or if I'm just being forced by societal norms. The benefits definitely outweigh the cons. I was sorta in the start of a relationship, or so I thought, but the other person was probably just interested in my appearance and not my personality. I'm 28, 29 next week, and the love of my life doesn't want to be with me. I know we are not right for each other in the end, but it's still hard. We share a life, and I thought I marry him. We are staying together until after my birthday and a short trip to Rome we have planned in November. But after that we are parting ways. I asked that we fake stay together because I knew couldn't enjoy those 2 events. If we were broken up, it would be much too painful. So now I get to celebrate my birthday with him as my boyfriend and we'll have a blast exploring Italy together. But then it will be time for the inevitable move out and goodbye. The worst part is that it's nothing I can change. Our personalities are just too different, and I'm not what he wants. It's painful going from thinking you'll spend your life with someone to knowing the exact date that it'll end. I'm 21, currently trying to pay off my mother's gravestone and funeral so she can have a proper headstone on her plot. Times are tough though, and I've fallen behind a bit. I know time and willpower will eventually solve this, but it's tough. 22 meters. Getting ghosted by a girl I'm nuts about. 19. Not getting help for my anorexia and depression, which makes it hard to hold a job. My brother got diagnosed with cancer last week and my best friend had a psychotic episode because of drugs and got put in a mental facility. 19. Turning 20 in 10 days and procrastination and laziness are my biggest problems in life. 41. Just got a job making $16/HR, but after a week, in realizing I might not be able to physically keep up with it long term, denied twice for disability, and couldn't risk being homeless with my 3 sons to continue trying to get approved. I was squeaking by on money made online editing photos and video, PC repair, and odd jobs like hemming pants or helping people move, but my doctor kept changing my ADHD meds and I got kicked out of pain management because I refused to take the alphabet of meds on a regular basis they gave me for the slip discs in my lower back. I only took the pain meds when absolutely necessary. Between high pain levels and lack of focus I was unable to manage my time and started losing clients rapidly. I decided I would just give regular employment a go after 15+ years of squeaking by, and after several months of filling out applications everywhere I finally got a call for an interview. I love my job. Besides a ton of walking, it isn't physically intense at all. But after just 5 days of shifts my lower back and left knee hurt so bad I spent all of my downtime soaking, icing, trying to stretch, and resting with no relief from over-the-counter pain medication. I did get back on my ADHD meds, but adjusting to being medicated after several months of no meds is a struggle all on its own. I'll keep pushing forward and hopefully find a better doctor or some kind of home remedy that will help with the excruciating pain I'm in. But not going to work is not an option, because my job is the only source of income we have, and the time it would take to get things started up working for myself again, or trying for disability without a regular paycheck, we would be in the streets for sure. 23 and I'm struggling to maintain a normal life whilst dealing with suicidal ideation. I'm on medication and generally fine. It can just be pretty tough sometimes. 22. It's not that big deal, but it's driving me crazy. I stopped my graduation in languages/literature and left my country to improve my language skills and have a better chance of a better work when I come back home and finish my studies. I always wanted to spend only 1 year abroad and then come back home until I arrived here. I'm in the end of the year and now I have actually 0% of wish of going back home. I want to stay here, but I didn't finish my graduation, so I can't find a good job, and without a job I can't have a visa. I could start studying here, but the visa plus LIFE costs are expensive, and I don't have the money. I have to go back home, but I can't see myself living there anymore. 52 Stability. I'm 28F. I have 2 small children and often feel overwhelmed by their needs. I'm 20. Not sure what I want to do with my life. Not sure if I want to stay at the job I'm doing or doing something totally different. Also just figured out I prob have ads and just came out of a depression. 22 meters. Have the spine of a 80-year-old from her accident 10 years ago. I've had multiple procedures to help the pain and none of them have worked. Doctors are now not sure what to do, and the problems will just get worse over time. My insurance now won't cover me seeing the specialist I have been seeing for years. I just had to quit my job 2 months ago due to the pain. Dropped out of college due to the pain making it too difficult to focus. I spend most of my time in bed, and it is hard to leave the house and do something. Because of that, I have lost most of my friends. I have older parents and I'm unable to help my dad around the house, so it makes me feel like a terrible son. I want to be able to travel before the pain is so bad that I can't even move, but there's no way I'll ever be able to afford it. Even if I could afford it, I'm afraid that I'll have a flare up and be unable to leave the hotel. I constantly think about how I'm going to be able to survive life without ending up on the streets. I just got married, and my wife suddenly has no sex drive and is depressed. Been a rough few months. It's like she's a completely different person than when we were dating. 17 school/college applications. I'm 30 and 6 months ago I broke up after almost 8 years. Year ago, I was planning to be pregnant at this time. Now, I have to accept the new course of my life. I feel old. I do not want to be an old mom. On the other hand, I don't want to have kids with anyone, just to have them, if you understand. I'm afraid that I won't find so many questions in my head. I'm 24, kinda tired of my job and wanting to make my own money to leave my job and pursue my passions, but most of the time my job leaves me too tired, unmotivated and uninspired to do something about. I'm 30, diagnosed last year with ADHS. Failed university this year. Just needed to write my thesis. No intimacy with my girlfriend of 2 years anymore. Yeah, life. Started therapy this year to deal with my disorder. Will start an apprenticeship in electronics in November and decided to have my own house in 10 years. Life goes on. 40 meters. Currently in the middle of job switching. I'm not convinced of the new one. Secondly, I realized I almost completely lost all friends from my old life since I had kids and didn't really get new ones. 22 and struggling to find a job. Haven't got education past high school and have a patchy work history due to travel/mental health issues. I've applied for so many jobs it's really getting me down. 41F. I'm starting to feel too comfy being single and afraid I don't even want to date ever again. I'm 14 and I'm very lonely. 21. Living with my parents. particularly my father. I'm 37 and my problems are: 1. I live in Brazil. 2. I have no money. 30 and probably dating. Work is going well. I'm financially stable and own a house and all that jazz. But I just never really dated besides once in high school. Started doing online dating seriously a couple years ago, and it's a pretty disheartening experience all around. Be it getting stood up, or the grind of it all. I did finally meet someone a couple months ago, and we've been getting along well. But I just have a lot of fears and troubles with the whole thing, like a constant fear of freaking it up. I'm 18. I have obsessive thoughts and trouble paying attention in school. I live in US, but in my culture mental issues are taboo, so I don't really want to get it checked out. Also, I'm a first year in college going into mechanical engineering, but I don't know what they do. So I don't know if that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I feel like I'm in love with a girl that I can't be with, and it's really bumming me out. It's complicated. At 44 I had a transplant. I'm now about to turn 59 in a few months. I shouldn't have bothered to have it and just let go and died. Living on a pension means no prospects. So no chance at attracting a female partner. It's just been getting through each day the best you can, and hasn't been worth it at all. That I live in a place that was good enough to allow me to be pensioned off makes me seem ungrateful and a first world problem. Very grateful, but without some company and some spare money to venture out and do things, it is just pointless. Believe it or not, it isn't depression speaking. It's more like crippling boredom and the realization that this is it. I push on as if everything is normal. I exercise. Have hobbies that don't need much money etc, but I've definitely had enough and would be happy to go into rejection tomorrow and welcome it with open arms. Not something would to do deliberately though, as I promised I would take care of the gift I was given, and I keep my word. Oh well. Back to the routine. 28 good paying job but no savings. Gambling addiction. Credit card debt. Small loan net about $7,000 all up. Tax debt of about $6,500. Overweight. Taken up smoking again. Feels like relationship is on the verge of breaking down to kids involved. Not happy or motivated and disciplined to fix any of it at the moment. Love/hate cycle of hopelessness. 28. Almost 29. I'm starting to try dating women and it's terrifying starting so late in the game. 26 and not appreciating or feeling happy about my life. Although everything is alright, getting good feelings from things is really difficult. I was gonna write a comment about weight loss and my personal drama, but the first 3 comments are somebody's son dying, some kid getting his leg amputated, and a person whose father was potentially kidnapped by Al-Qaeda. Jesus Christ, I hope things get better for you people. My problems are nothing compared to yours. I'm 32 and it's not really a problem, but my wife and I are struggling with an energetic 3-year-old and a cranky 3-day-old baby who both need all the attention all of the time. I'm 32. I think I'm decent at photography and writing, but I'm too anxious to delve into either hobby as hardcore as I'd like. There's a local family-owned shop I had a roll of photos developed at whose owner does lessons and critiques. I'm so interested in hiring him for his time, but I'm not sure what my hang up is. Also, I'm kind of lonely, but not lonely enough to try dating again. I'm 16, and in a recent breakup from over a 1-year relationship. I'm 23. I just accepted a notably well-paying job in the field I studied in a city I love. I should be happy, but the company is Fox News, and I always feel a pang of guilt walking into work every day. I don't agree with 95% of what I do there. Hopefully I can switch to another place after I gain enough experience.